Have you ever wondered if that handful of nuts you snack on every afternoon is helping you or quietly hurting you? It might sound shocking, but some of the most common nuts we reach for, thinking they're a healthy choice, could actually be packed with hidden risks that sabotage our heart, our memory, and even our weight. And the scariest part, most people never realize it until it's too late. Hello, my friends. If you're like me, you've probably been told that nuts are one of the healthiest snacks around, good for the heart, full of healthy fats, a smart choice as we age. But what if I told you not all nuts are created equal? Some truly are superfoods that support your heart, your brain, and even your immune system. Others, well, they're loaded with empty calories, allergens, and hidden toxins that can slowly chip away at your health, especially as we get older. As we age, these little daily choices matter more than ever. What we put into our bodies every day can either fuel us, helping us stay active, sharp, and independent, or drag us down, leaving us struggling with fatigue, weight gain, high blood pressure, and memory loss. That's why today's video is so important, because I'm going to share with you exactly which 4 nuts can be powerful allies for your health, supporting your heart, boosting your memory, and keeping your immune system strong, and which 4 nuts you should avoid, or better yet, eat in strict moderation because of hidden dangers, like sky-high calories, allergy risks, or even toxins you probably never heard of. By the time we're done, you'll have a clear, simple roadmap. You'll know which nuts truly deserve a place in your kitchen, and which ones might just be a sweet-tasting trap. Now, I know many of us grew up believing a handful of nuts is always a good idea. But after today, you'll see why that old advice needs a second look, especially if you're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s and focused on protecting your heart, your mind, and your independence for years to come. So grab yourself a nice cup of tea, get comfortable, and stick with me, because this small change, knowing which nuts to reach for, could be one of the easiest ways to protect your health and extend your quality of life. Are you ready to snack smarter and live better? Let's jump in. All right, my friends, now that you're settled in, maybe with a nice cup of tea, let's dive into the very first powerhouse nut that truly earns its spot in your daily routine: almonds. What I like to call the heart's most loyal friend. Now, we've all seen almonds lining the grocery store shelves raw, roasted, turned into almond butter, or blended into creamy almond milk. They're everywhere. But here's what most people don't know. Almonds aren't just a snack. They're one of the most scientifically proven foods to protect your heart. And for those of us in our golden years, where heart health becomes a daily priority, that's a game changer. Almonds are loaded with monounsaturated fats, the good fats, the same kind you'll find in olive oil. These fats have been clinically shown to lower LDL, that's the bad cholesterol, while raising HDL, the good cholesterol, creating a natural shield around your heart and arteries. If your doctors ever told you to watch your cholesterol or manage your blood pressure, adding a handful of almonds, just about 1 ounce or 23 almonds a day, could be one of the simplest, most natural changes you make. No pills, no prescriptions, just real food, doing real work for your heart. But it doesn't stop there. See, almonds are also rich in magnesium, a mineral many older adults are unknowingly low on. Low magnesium levels can quietly trigger high blood pressure, muscle cramps, and even irregular heartbeats. In fact, magnesium plays a vital role in keeping your heart's rhythm steady, like a metronome that keeps the beat of life itself. 1 ounce of almonds delivers nearly 20% of your daily magnesium needs. That's a powerful, natural way to support your heart, your muscles, and your nerves every single day. And let's talk skin, because who says we can't glow a little at our age, right? Almonds are packed with vitamin E, one of the most potent antioxidants nature has to offer. Vitamin E helps protect your skin from oxidative stress. That's the stuff that leads to wrinkles, dryness, and sun damage over time. Studies have even shown that people who consume vitamin E-rich foods like almonds have fewer visible signs of aging, smoother skin, fewer wrinkles, and better moisture retention. It's like nature's little beauty secret hidden inside that crunchy bite. Of course, like anything good in life, moderation is key. Almonds are calorie-dense, packed with healthy fats, but still easy to overeat. Stick to that 1 ounce serving, about 23 almonds, to get all the health benefits without the extra calories sneaking up on you. And one last gentle reminder: if you or someone you love has a tree nut allergy, almonds may not be the right choice. Always check with your healthcare provider. But for the rest of us, almonds truly are a nutritional powerhouse. supporting your heart, your skin, your muscles, and your mind. A handful a day isn't just a snack, it's an investment in your well-being, your energy, and your longevity. Now, if almonds are the heart's best friend, then our next nut might just be the brain's most loyal ally. And honestly, when you crack one, open nature gives us a little clue because a walnut looks almost exactly like a miniature human brain. Coincidence maybe, but science says probably not. Walnuts are one of the most powerful foods you can eat when it comes to protecting your mind. And that's something all of us start thinking about as we get older. Memory lapses, brain fog, even the fear of cognitive decline, these challenges become very real with age. But the simple act of adding a small handful of walnuts to your day could make a real difference. So why walnuts? It's all about the omega-3s. Walnuts are loaded with alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that fights inflammation throughout your body and, most importantly, inside your brain. You see, chronic inflammation is like a slow, silent fire that ages your cells, and for the brain. For the brain, that means memory problems, slower processing, and yes, even an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. But that's not where the walnut's magic stops. They're also packed with antioxidants that shield your brain cells from damage like tiny bodyguards protecting what matters most. In fact, studies have shown that people who eat walnuts regularly perform better on memory tests, process information faster, and maintain better cognitive function as they age. And here's a bonus that most folks don't know. Walnuts may even help with blood sugar control. Some research suggests they improve insulin sensitivity, making them a smart snack for anyone managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. A common concern as we get older. Why does that matter? Because unlike sugary snacks that spike your blood sugar and leave you feeling drained, walnuts deliver healthy fats, fiber, and protein, the perfect trio to slow digestion and give you steady energy. Now, a quick word of caution. Walnuts, like most nuts, are calorie-dense, so moderation is key. The sweet spot, about 4 walnut halves per day, enough to reap the brain-boosting benefits without overdoing the calories. Some folks find walnuts a little bitter. That's due to natural compounds called tannins. But don't let that turn you away. A light roast or even soaking them overnight can soften that taste beautifully. And because walnuts contain healthy oils that can spoil over time, store them in an airtight container in the fridge or freezer to keep them fresh and delicious. At the end of the day, walnuts are a true superfood for your mind, your heart, and even your blood sugar. If keeping your brain sharp and your body strong is part of your plan, and I know it is, making walnuts a daily habit is one of the smartest moves you can make. Next up, my friends, is a little green gem that might just become your new best friend, especially if you've ever struggled with snacking or trying to manage your weight. Let's talk about pistachios, smart, satisfying, and surprisingly good for you. Now, I don't know about you, but snacking can be tricky. You want something crunchy, something satisfying, but most of the time those snacks come loaded with sugar, salt, or empty calories that do more harm than good. That's where pistachios shine. Unlike many other nuts, pistachios are lower in calories, ounce for ounce, than almonds or walnuts. That means you get more nuts per serving, more crunch, more satisfaction without blowing your daily calorie count. For folks watching their waistline, especially as metabolism slows with age, that's a big win. But the real magic of pistachios goes deeper than just calories. They're packed with protein and fiber, 2 nutrients that work together to keep you feeling full and satisfied longer. And let's be honest, how many times have we reached for a snack only to feel hungry again? 20 minutes later, with pistachios, you're fueling your body with something that curbs your appetite, naturally helping you avoid those mid-afternoon or late-night cravings that so often derail our health goals. Here's something most people don't know. Pistachios even protect your eyesight. They're rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 powerful antioxidants known to reduce the risk of age-related macular degeneration. And as we age, that's something we can't afford to ignore. Between blue light from screens and everyday oxidative stress, our eyes take a beating. Pistachios act like tiny bodyguards for your vision, helping to keep those eyes sharp for years to come. Now, I'll be honest, pistachios are so tasty, it's easy to eat more than you realize. But even with their lower calorie count, portion control is still important. The sweet spot, about 49 pistachios, that's roughly 1 ounce per serving. Because of their smaller size, you get a generous handful, making them one of the most satisfying nuts to snack on. And of course, as with any tree nut, if you have a nut allergy or sensitivity, always check with your doctor first. But if you're looking for a snack that's crunchy, delicious, and actually works with your health goals, pistachios are hard to beat. Pair them with a piece of fresh fruit or a little unsweetened yogurt, and you've got a balanced, satisfying treat that feels indulgent but truly supports your body. Smart snacking, my friends, it's one of the simplest ways to fuel your body, protect your health, and still enjoy every bite. Now, let me introduce you to a nut that rarely gets the spotlight. But when it comes to protecting your thyroid and strengthening your immune system, this little powerhouse stands in a league of its own. I'm talking about Brazil nuts, nature's secret weapon in the smallest dose. You won't find Brazil nuts tossed into every snack mix or sitting casually on the coffee table like almonds or pistachios. But what they lack in popularity, they make up for in sheer nutritional power, especially for us as we age. Here's a secret. Brazil nuts are one of the richest natural sources of selenium on the planet. And why does that matter? Because selenium is critical for your thyroid, the tiny gland in your neck that quietly controls everything from your metabolism and energy levels to your mood, your weight, and even your brain function. As we get older, it's common for the thyroid to slow down, leaving us feeling sluggish, gaining weight without explanation, or struggling with brain fog. But selenium acts like the fuel that keeps your thyroid running smoothly, ensuring it produces the hormones your body needs to function at its best. Even a slight deficiency in selenium can throw your system off balance, making it harder to regulate your weight, stay energized, or even fight off illness. That's why adding just a tiny amount of Brazil nuts to your routine can have such a big impact. And the beauty of Brazil nuts, you don't need a handful. Just one or two a day is all it takes to meet your body's selenium needs. That's right, just one or two nuts. Think of Brazil, nuts less like a snack and more like a daily supplement straight from nature. But here's the important part, because Brazil nuts are so rich in selenium eating, too many can actually be harmful. Too much selenium can cause brittle nails, digestive issues, and even neurological problems over time. So moderation, as always, is the key. If you're not a huge fan of their slightly dry, creamy texture, no worries. Try chopping one Brazil nut and mixing it into your morning yogurt, oatmeal, or even a handful of other nuts. You'll barely notice the taste, but you'll be giving your body that selenium boost it needs to stay strong. And here's an added bonus. Brazil nuts are also packed with antioxidants that help fight inflammation and oxidative stress, two of the biggest culprits behind aging and chronic disease. So if you're looking for a simple, natural way to support your thyroid, protect your immune system, and keep your metabolism humming along, Brazil nuts might just be the secret you've been missing. But remember, with Brazil nuts, a little truly goes a long way. Just one or two a day, no more, and you're giving your body exactly what it needs. All right, now that we've covered the nuts that can truly fuel your health, it's time we talk about the ones you should approach with caution. Because here's the truth, not all nuts are created equal. Some deliver heart-healthy fats, fiber, and essential nutrients, but others, they hide calories, sugar, and unhealthy fats traps that can quietly sabotage your health goals. And leading the list is the beloved macadamia nut, often called the calorie bomb in disguise. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand why people love macadamias. That rich, buttery texture, the creamy bite, it feels like eating a little piece of dessert. You'll find them baked into cookies, mixed into gourmet snack blends, or roasted to perfection. But here's the problem. They're also one of the most calorie-dense nuts you can eat. Let me break it down: just 10 to 12 macadamia nuts, about 1 ounce packs, over 200 calories and 21 grams of fat. Now, yes, those are mostly monounsaturated fats, the kind considered good for your heart, but the sheer volume of calories sneaks up fast. The real danger: macadamias are dangerously easy to overeat. Unlike almonds or pistachios that require a bit of chewing, macadamias are soft, sweet, and go down smooth, almost like candy. And because of that texture, it's all too easy to grab another handful and another until suddenly you've added hundreds of extra calories without realizing it. And it gets worse when you buy them honey-roasted, chocolate-covered, or buttered. Those versions pile on sugar, salt, and saturated fat, turning what could be a decent snack into something that quietly raises your cholesterol and strains your heart health, and especially dangerous if you're watching your blood pressure or weight. Now, does this mean you have to banish macadamia nuts forever? Not at all. But if weight control and heart health are priorities, and let's be honest, for most of us over 50, moderation is non-negotiable. Here's my tip treat. Macadamia, nuts like a garnish, not a snack. Instead of eating them by the handful, sprinkle a few chopped macadamias over a salad, or mix them into a healthy homemade trail mix with other lighter nuts and seeds. Better yet, buy pre-portioned packs so you're not tempted to go back for more. At the end of the day, macadamias aren't inherently bad, but their high-calorie load-rich texture and the way they're often prepared loaded with sugar and salt make them a nut you want to enjoy carefully, not casually. If your goal is to protect your heart, manage your weight, and make smart, sustainable food choices, keeping macadamia nuts in check is one of the smartest moves you can make. Continue next on our caution list is a snack. Almost every American household knows well, peanuts. From peanut butter sandwiches to roasted peanuts at ball games, these little legumes have been a part of our culture for generations. But despite their popularity, peanuts come with hidden risks that are especially important for us to understand as we get older. And yes, you heard me right. Peanuts aren't actually nuts at all. They're legumes, part of the same family as beans and lentils. Now that might seem like just a fun fact, but it helps explain why some people with tree nut allergies can still eat peanuts, while others experience severe, even life-threatening allergic reactions to both. In fact, peanut allergies are among the most dangerous food allergies in America, often causing anaphylaxis, a sudden reaction that can cut off breathing in minutes. If you or anyone in your family has a peanut allergy, complete avoidance is the only safe option, and that's non-negotiable. But even if allergies aren't a concern, there's another hidden danger most folks don't know about aflatoxins. These are toxic compounds produced by a type of mold that can grow on peanuts, especially when they're stored in warm, humid environments. And here's a scary part. Aflatoxins have been linked to serious liver damage and even liver cancer over time. Now, the U.S. has regulations in place to monitor aflatoxin levels, but if you're buying bulk peanuts, especially from bins or bags that have been sitting for a while, that risk creeps up. It's not something many of us think about when we're reaching for a handful of peanuts, but it matters. And if that wasn't enough, many peanut products today are loaded with unhealthy additives. Take a look at your average jar of peanut butter. Chances are it's packed with hydrogenated oils, added sugars, and excessive salt, all of which contribute to heart disease, weight gain, and chronic inflammation. Even roasted peanuts, which sound harmless, are often coated in salt, artificial flavorings, or sugary glazes, turning what could have been a healthy snack into a nutritional landmine. But here's the good news. If you love peanuts, you don't necessarily have to give them up. The key is being smart about how you enjoy them. Choose natural peanut butter, the kind with no added oil, sugars, or salt. Stick to modest portions. Peanuts are calorie dense. Store them properly sealed in a cool, dry place to lower the risk of mold and aflatoxins. At the end of the day, peanuts aren't the enemy, but they do require respect and caution, especially if you're focused on heart health, weight management, or reducing inflammation as you age. Approach them wisely or skip them altogether. If there's any allergy risk, it's a small change that could protect your health in a big way. Now let's talk about a nut that often feels a little fancy, the kind you find sprinkled over a gourmet salad or blended into that rich, creamy pesto. Yes, I'm talking about pine nuts, delicate, buttery, and delicious. But here's what most people don't realize when it comes to everyday snacking. Pine nuts might not be the best choice, especially if you're focused on your health. Sure, pine nuts have been a prized ingredient for centuries, part of traditional Mediterranean and Italian cuisine. They pair beautifully with herbs, cheese, and fresh vegetables, but behind that rich flavor are some hidden drawbacks. One of the biggest issues, pine nuts are extremely high in oil, and that makes them highly perishable. Unlike almonds or walnuts, which can sit in your pantry for months, pine nuts spoil fast if not stored properly. Left too long at room temperature, they develop a stale or sour taste, and eating them like that doesn't just ruin the flavor. It can actually cause digestive discomfort. That same oil content also means pine nuts oxidize quickly, breaking down those healthy fats and robbing them of nutritional value. That's why if you do buy pine nuts, they should go straight into an airtight container in the fridge or freezer and be used within a few weeks, not exactly convenient for daily snacking. And then there's something even stranger, pine mouth syndrome. Ever heard of it? Some people experience a lingering bitter or metallic taste in their mouth after eating pine nuts, a taste that can last for days, sometimes even weeks. Now, it's not dangerous, but it's frustrating because it alters the way everything tastes long after the nuts are gone. And the truth is, scientists still aren't sure why this happens to some people and not others. It could be the variety of pine nuts or individual sensitivity. Nutritionally speaking, pine nuts just don't stack up against other nuts like almonds or walnuts. They're lower in protein, lower in fiber, and offer fewer essential vitamins and minerals. That means they don't keep you full for long. Not exactly the kind of snack that supports energy or weight management. And let's be honest, they're expensive. For the price you pay, you're getting fewer nutritional benefits and a higher risk of spoilage. Now, if you love pine nuts, I'm not saying you need to cut them out completely. Use them sparingly in recipes like a homemade pesto or sprinkled on a salad. They're a nice treat. But if you're looking for a daily snack that's good for your heart, your waistline, and your wallet, there are better options out there. Here's a tip. Try swapping pine nuts with sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, or even slivered almonds. You'll get a similar texture plus more protein fiber and essential nutrients all at a lower cost. Bottom line, pine nuts belong in the enjoy occasionally category, not your go-to daily snack. Handle them with care and treat them like the gourmet ingredient. They are not a handful-to-mouth habit. Finally, let's talk about a nut that feels like pure nostalgia. Chestnuts, you can almost smell it, right? That warm, sweet aroma drifting through winter markets roasting on open fires. It's comforting, familiar, and for many of us, a special treat around the holidays. But here's the thing, nutritionally, chestnuts are very different from the other nuts we've talked about. In fact, chestnuts act more like a starchy vegetable than a traditional heart-healthy nut. Unlike almonds or walnuts, which are loaded with protein and healthy fats, chestnuts are mostly carbohydrates with very little fat or protein. That means they don't provide the same benefits for heart health, satiety, or blood sugar control that other nuts offer. And if you're eating nuts specifically for those good fats, the monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats that protect your heart and fight inflammation, chestnuts simply won't deliver. They're missing those heart-friendly nutrients that make most nuts a powerful ally in managing cholesterol and reducing your risk of heart disease. Another concern, chestnuts have a much higher glycemic index than other nuts. What does that mean? Simply put, because they're mostly carbs, chestnuts can spike your blood sugar more quickly, making them less ideal for anyone managing diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance. Now, chestnuts do offer some nutritional value, a bit of vitamin C, potassium, and B vitamins, but they lack the powerhouse minerals and antioxidants you find in nuts like almonds or walnuts. And because they're low in protein and healthy fat, they won't keep you feeling full for long, not exactly what you want in a satisfying snack. That said, chestnuts are not all bad. They can still have a place in a balanced diet, especially for anyone looking for a naturally gluten-free, lower-fat alternative to grains or starchy vegetables. Their soft, creamy texture makes them perfect for roasting, mashing, or adding to soups and traditional holiday dishes. The key is moderation and smart pairing. If you love the tradition of roasted chestnuts, you don't have to give it up, but think about what you're eating them with. Since chestnuts are high in carbs and low in protein and fat, try pairing them with a source of healthy fat or lean protein like cheese turkey, or even a handful of almonds or walnuts to balance your blood sugar and keep you full longer. And here's a storage tip. Chestnuts don't last like other nuts. They're high in moisture, which means they spoil quickly if left out too long. Fresh chestnuts should always be stored in the refrigerator and used within a few weeks to avoid mold growth. So while chestnuts may bring back warm memories, nutritionally, they're more of a treat than a daily superfood. Enjoy them, just be mindful of how and when you do. And there you have it, my friends, 4 incredible nuts that can truly support your health and well-being, and 4 others that might be best enjoyed in moderation. But beyond the nutrition facts, I hope today's video gave you something to think about. Because in the end, taking care of ourselves isn't just about what we eat. It's about how we choose to live every single day. As we get older, it's the little choices, like picking the right snack, going for that walk, or calling a loved one, that quietly shape the quality of our lives. It's not just about living longer. It's about feeling good enough to truly enjoy the time we have with our families, our friends, and the moments that matter most. So the next time you reach for a handful of nuts, I hope you pause and remember it's more than just a snack. It's an act of self-care. It's a promise to yourself that your health, your joy, and your future are worth protecting. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps more people find this information. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these nuts do you enjoy the most, or were you surprised by any of the ones to avoid? Share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you'd like more videos like this, practical tips, heartfelt conversations, and wisdom for living your best life at any age, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Wisdom and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and always remember you are worth the effort.